What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the greatest show on YouTube. That's right, me, you, a camera, some beautiful lights, and a microphone. And we're talking about the damn Clarity Act. It's gonna pass. There is no question in my mind that the Clarity Act passes, and everything I'm gonna show you throughout this video tells us that it's gonna pass. Forget what Polymarket says. Who gives a rat ass? We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but as we go through this video and we listen to all these clips and how everyone is bullish, and we come to find out that guess what? The ethics provision in it, that's not a holdup. It's not a holdup. That's what they said. We're gonna get to it, but first, folks, first of all, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing. Join the other 133,000 people. But if you noticed, I pinned something to my page. I pinned it months ago. This has been the exact playbook of the market, of the bear market, where we're going. I mean, you can't make it up. And I started just making the thread, as you see, and I'm just adding to it. Every time I put out a major post about the market, I add to it. Well, I just put out a new update. Bitcoin's trading within a range. Like I said, it was going to. The bottom will fall out soon. The range will break, and then the bottom will be in. September to November. That's your frame. That's your range. I think it's going to happen in October. It's impossible to pinpoint the exact day, well, you can't do that. There's a range where it's going to fall. And guess what? The market is following the 4-year structure to the freaking T. Nothing's changed. And it will 100% be confirmed if the bottom is in between September and November. So turn on the notifications on my page, get up on over there and go give it a watch. And when I put out the tweet about it, you'll be notified. And if you're not following Rip Talks Money, you need to. Because do you have a plan after crypto? What are you going to do? Are you going you tell me you're going to sit in a stable coin? I don't think so. That's not the plan. That's not how it works. Sit in a little stable coin, make you 3%, 4%. Then you got to worry about if the exchange goes down. But Rip, they're insured. Yeah, they're insured up to 250K. What are you going to do with the other 3-4 million you got on there trying to live off? That's what this channel is about. That's exactly what I talk about. And you don't get flooded with videos every Monday and Thursday. A new episode. We're going to be on episode number 6. That's right. And then we get this. This one's hot off the press today. Clarity Act hearing was at 10 a.m. Eastern. Congress is moving to advance the landmark crypto legislation before your lawmakers leave for their August recess. A revised draft is expected to be released publicly today as the bill works its way towards President Trump's desk. Listen.
But you and the members of the House Financial Services Committee holding a field hearing today on the Clarity Act, which I guess creates a rule book for digital assets like cryptocurrency. I know President Trump met with senators yesterday on this issue. I don't get crypto, so you have to, but tell me why this is important and how it impacts people every day at home.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's very important. Digital assets are large investments. It matters worldwide, right? It's a new payment system. It's in many ways an added currency for speed. Banks are engaged. Many industries are. The U.S. needs to be on the leading edge here. We passed a year ago tomorrow the Genius Act, and you got to look at it this way: the Genius Act was more or less like building a car and setting automobile requirements for trucks, mid-sized trucks, cars. Well, we got the vehicle. Now we need the roadways, and the roadway is the Clarity Act, allowing the regulatory nature of things, the safety, the privacy issues, all of that needs to be associated to build, frankly, trust within this industry. And that's why it needs to pass. The only reason it's not passing is, one, Democrats probably don't understand it in the Senate, because we did have some in the House vote with us. And they have, Trump derangement syndrome. Anything that advances our economy, they're not exactly on board with us. Yeah. So it's important. That's why we're doing it down in Wall Street. We're at the Federal Hall, which is really cool. We got about 9 members in going through this. We got some great witnesses.
He said Trump advancement syndrome. Now, look, I don't like to get political on this channel because, look, this isn't a political channel. But I did raise the question before. If Trump wasn't president, would there really be an issue or a concern from the Democrats? Because they're all up in their lum that he made all this money off of a meme coin and off of his crypto holdings. If it wasn't him, would we have an issue? It's an honest question. An honest question. Remember, if you want to be part of the greatest YouTube comment section on YouTube, You need to leave a comment. I go through the comments, I give you a little heart, you become an approved user. That's how we cut out all the spam and all the bots. It's a beautiful thing. It worked on my other channel, the Bullwinkle Blueprint, and it's gonna work here. Now we get this, the path for the Clarity Act. It just got a lot clearer. Kristen Smith says the holdup isn't crypto. It's ethics language needed to win Democratic support. Trump is reportedly negotiating a compromise with Democrats. If a deal is reached, the Senate could vote as early as next week. Now, all the videos I've been making leading up to this exact video, I told you the most important week is going to be July 20th until the beginning of August. How weird is that that's what they're coming out and they're starting to say right now? It's like Rip saw the future, now isn't it?
Thank you so much for being here. What are your thoughts on clarity and the ethics conversation underway right now?
Well, good morning, Maria, and thank you for having me back. I agree with Faryar. The ethics conversation is absolutely essential. This is one of those tricky issues where it's really not the crypto industry's place to decide what that deal is. But I've met with members of Congress, senators on both sides of the aisle, and especially for Democrats, they need to have some sort of ethics language in this bill in order to be able to vote for it. So I give credit to President Trump for entertaining this concept. I know he had a meeting at the White House yesterday to discuss what this provision could look like. And I think, this is a president who knows the art of the deal. If we can get the president and the Democrats to agree on this issue, I think that will break the logjam and we will be able to get the votes needed to get this bill through the Senate sometime next week or the following.
The art of the deal. That's right. So what's President Trump doing? He's going to give something that the Democrats want, and in exchange, he's going to get them to vote the Clarity Act through. I told you 2 years ago, it all happens under Trump. Now, whether you like Trump or not, it doesn't matter because we're not here for Trump. We're here for crypto, right? We're here for crypto and we're here for our cryptocurrencies, our assets that we hold to go up in value. And Trump is the man who is in the current position who is going to make that happen. He did it for the stock market when everyone doubted him. He's going to do it for the cryptocurrency market, and this bill is gonna get through. And then here's Bill Hagerty on the Clarity Act. We will get it done because we have to get it done.
Done first, and I've heard the same thing about Genius in terms of the consequential nature of it, but it's done. Again, it took a lot of work and a great team to make that happen. And with respect to clarity, Rebecca, we will get it done because we have to get it done. I just think that the question is, can we navigate the political climate right now? Can we navigate the political climate and calendar, I think, to be more specific, in a way that gets it done sooner than later? I hope we can.
That makes sense.
They'll get it done because they have to get it done. This is not an optional bill. There is a lot at stakes here if the Clarity Act does not get signed over. And in a timely manner, the United States will lose all control of cryptocurrency in the digital asset innovation that is happening. And that will not happen under President Trump's watch. Mark that down, write it down, do whatever you got to do. You're hearing it here first.
I commend Senator Lummis, Senator Scott, and many others on both sides of the aisle that have been trying to get clarity through the Senate. I think we're on the cusp of doing that. This is, as Cynthia said, a key time. I'm so pleased John Thune, the leader in the Senate, has set a date to bring this bill to the floor. We've done 4 years of work on this under the leadership of former Chairman Patrick McHenry. Brian Stile, who you just had on, has done a marvelous job this Congress, and it's time to close the deal.
It is time to close the deal. I like how that sounds. Now, can you just imagine for a second with me the amount of money that's on the sideline, that's just waiting to enter this market? I mean, we're not talking billions. We're talking trillions of dollars it's ready to go. They've tested, they built, and they're ready to flip the switch. That is what this is coming down to. You want to talk about the flip of the switch moment? This is it, everyone. This is the flip of the switch moment, which brings us here. The Clarity Act is more than just crypto
House
regulations.
Financial Services Committee holding a field hearing today on the Clarity Act, which...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is wonderful to be here as we mark the 1-year anniversary of the Genius Act being signed into law. We are also getting closer to bringing the Clarity Act across the finish line with the goal of ensuring America leads the world in digital asset innovation and emerging technology. As we discuss what a fully implemented Clarity Act would mean for the future of digital assets in the United States, I want to begin with you, Mr. Samansato. One of the Act's central goals is to establish a clear regulatory framework that promotes innovation while strengthening market integrity and consumer confidence. How will the Clarity Act encourage responsible innovation while also safeguarding its illicit finance, market manipulation, and operational risks?
I mean, I think the key is in defining those entities that will fall within the regulatory perimeter and then empowering regulators to actually oversee them. I mean, truthfully, the discussions around the regulation of this industry for the past decade have been, one of excitement and newsworthiness. And as a former regulator, it should be a fairly boring job, right? You should know the entities that are under your jurisdiction and be able to implement that. At the same time, we're talking about a novel technology that has the potential to be very innovative and be used in a bunch of different ways, as you've heard from some of the witnesses today. And what that requires is an understanding of where that line is, right? So many have been acting in an environment in which, there's kind of unclear, unwritten rules out there. There's evolving interpretations between various regulators. And that's just not an environment in which, if you're a software developer or somebody who wants to see some of the future innovations be built, that you can really operate easily in. And so the fact that Clarity kind of draws those very clear lines, gives guidance both to the regulators and to the individuals participating in these networks is really powerful.
Thank you for that. Regulation by enforcement during the previous administration drove much of America's digital asset innovation overseas. How will the Clarity Act help reverse that trend, and what impact do you expect it to have on bringing companies' investment, talent, and technological innovation back to the United States?
I think one of the unique aspects, I'm not an expert on kind of which jurisdiction is ahead and which one is behind, but at least from my perspective, seeing a lot of the individuals who are in the U.S. are probably some of the people at the cutting edge of thinking about this innovation. And then there's a lot of structuring to get out of the country to avoid potential regulatory hiccups over the last few years. And that is an environment that is just not conducive to seeing the development that you would want to see in a country, right? Again, going back to that point of if you have the clear established rules plus the clarity of who is outside of that, right? And we think it's very important from Coin Center's perspective on the BRCA and some of those developer protections to create the environment in which individual ingenuity, absorbing some of the American values of liberty and freedom of speech that are inherent in this technology, allowing people to kind of build off of those.
Look, you always love seeing when these guys actually know what they're talking about, unlike that lady who called Bitcoin Bitcorn. I mean, maybe she was just hungry, now it's a stomach talking. Who really knows? Pay attention. The timer starts on Monday, and it goes all the way into the first week of August, folks. I think this thing is gonna fly. I really do. Now, does it get past the ultimate finish line at the end? Well, that's why we come back every single day to see if it does. I hope you enjoyed. Hey, let's hit 500 likes on this video. I need all y'all help. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see all y'all on the next one.